mangy dogs, swab the decks and hoist the sails. The guns on board be needing some proper manning. Pieces of 8 and a fine wench on your arm, if your work be not too shoddy. Careful not to flounder too badly, though, or you may have to dance the hempen jig as we see you to Davy Jones. The Chaffee, my boy, on with the show.
Welcome everybody, friends, folks, foes, and fellow pirate babies to our latest weekly edition Pirate Radio podcast. It's show number 354, Van Morrison at 80. Before we get into all of the particulars, let us remind you that I am, of course, your host and trusted companion. As always, Robin Hood's Chief Communications Officer, Jaffe Ryder. WPRPN.com is the website you'll want to take a look at. Drop by, check out all of the show description links as well. That particular end of things, always very helpful. Gives you more of a sense of what we're all about here, essentially. We, of course, got a Patreon. We have pirate swag merchandise available via galacticfire.com and elsewhere. Our PayPal, Pirate One Radio at protonmail.com. The email is also really helpful if you have any show suggestions or guest ideas you'd like to bounce off of us. So definitely do take note. Also keep in mind that half of everything we managed to generate here goes directly back to the grassroots. Hashtag WWRHD. What would Robin Hood do? Something kind of along those lines, you would imagine. Take a little bit of what the public has to offer, their way of saying thank you, and see that the less fortunate folks out there who we do come into contact with from time to time, as you can well imagine, not least of which is during the course of our annual Operation Secret Santa 10-day talent Christmas telethon and outreach campaign coming up here a lot more quickly than one might think. You know, we are in late August, early September, just a few more months. So, but on tap this week, of course, Van Morrison at 80. Just one final quick reminder that liking, commenting, sharing, remembering to hit subscription notification buttons, very helpful, along with passing word along to friends, family, and co-workers. Speaking of friends, we've got Roger Hansen connecting with us here for the time being. We might have a few others drop by as the show unfolds. It's a little tricky the way that Teams is set up currently. You've got to actually reach out directly and request them to join rather than it just being done default when you ring up a room that already has 20 people in it. I think it used to be a lot more that you could potentially have on board when it was Skype, but they're putting the squeeze on. What else is new, huh? So, all right. And before we get to Roger and all the amazing, wonderful things he himself knows about Van Morrison, let's give you a bit of a rundown overview what we're looking at here this week, taking time to reflect upon the life and career of Irish music legend Sir Ivan Van Morrison, soon celebrating his milestone 80th birthday. on August 31st. Our special feature production will include memories of his epic discography, performances, and philosophy. We'll also offer general commentary and live unplugged acoustic renditions of any number of his songs. Let's see YouTube's copyright strikes now. Don't think they can nail us for those live off the floor cover song efforts, but we'll see. Stranger things have been known to happen. Feel free to reach out with all your favorite Van Morrison music requests, memories, and trivia. So let's try one more time here to see if Sonia Galactic is available. We had thought she might be able uh to make it. She had seemed as if she was interested, although I'll tell you there was a huge dust storm that swept through Phoenix just a couple of days ago, and I'm not sure exactly how that's impacted her. Don't know how many of you out there actually saw that talked about in the news, but it was a I did myself see a few pictures. I don't know about you, Roger. Did that come across your radar via West Frankfort, Illinois?
Here, here today, I haven't been able to get out much and see outside. I've been mostly doing uploads and stuff like that on my channels. So it's actually been pretty tame here with the weather, like really cool compared to what it should be in August.
Really?
So I'm kind of weirded out about that. I just now had to turn the air conditioner on because it was starting to get a little warm.
Oh, how about that? So, yeah, South Korea. We're slowly moving into autumn, I guess, but summer definitely with the humidity here, Southeast Asian humidity, never all that much fun for someone with mostly, European, Scandinavian ancestry. I think there's just something in our, there's a reason that we ended up in the north, northern
Mm.
regions of the world as compared to you know, the deserts and jungles, as it were. So, but anyways, that being said, yeah, rumor has it that you're one of the world's biggest Van Morrison fans, aside from myself, of course. So, how did that all come about?
Well, I like his blues music. I don't really get too much into his spiritual stuff too much, but I do like his blues music. Some of it, um, not all of it, but yeah, I mean, he's all right. It's just it's kind of off the beaten path for me. You know what I mean? I was more of a long hair stoner dude. You know what I
Right?
mean?
Yeah.
So, but
Yeah. Kind of off the beaten path for a lot of people, actually. Although I was just checking things out here in the lead up to the show, as you can imagine, a lot of fact checking, various fronts, and as it turns out, he's had 40, I guess, official releases. These are just singles that
mhm.
have reached the top 40 uh,
Yeah.
in the UK, I
Yeah.
guess. So who's that? Is that Alan? Hello, Alan? Who the heck is that? Is that on your end, Roger? Sounded like Alan. Alan 777 Mosdale.
Yeah, I had somebody come in and start yelling across the room.
Is
Sorry
that is
about
that your
that.
brother? He wasn't yelling.
Yeah,
He was just. Was that your brother?
yeah. He
Right.
was coming in. I had to tell him I was on the show, so he
Just go over and give him a headshot for us.
just like smack him upside the head and
Cat o' nine
send him on.
tails.
Yeah.
Cat o' nine
I
tails.
hate when people do that. You know what I mean? Like just out of nowhere, just open the door, don't even say nothing, or knock or anything. Just
Yeah, it can lead to some
open the door and then wait until you see somebody before you start yelling.
pretty uncomfortable situations. In fact, reminds me of a joke. I'm not sure if this is the best time, but I mean, since you mentioned it, the uh, the most sensitive part, of a person, someone who's, I'll put it politely, self pleasuring themselves. If you can,
Yeah.
the most sensitive part of their body.
They're hard.
No, it's their ears.
Oh, okay. I thought you was gonna do that whole sensitive thing where I had to like think and stuff. So
It's
you
their
know how I am.
Roger. It's their ears, and
Uh,
I think Van Morrison has got pretty sensitive ears too. It's not that he's necessarily all that much into self pleasuring. Hopefully, not at his age. Um, he's been married how many times now? Just I think just twice actually. Numerous girlfriends, and I mean some real tragedy with one relationship that fell apart just a number of years ago. It was with someone who, her name doesn't come to me at the moment. She was a striking blonde, though, as memory serves, and she was helping to manage his career to a large extent, and uh, keep his website up to date, and things such as that, to the point where she even had the gall while he was still married, I think. Now, I'm not sure where this fit into the timeline of the Belfast Cowboy, as he is so affectionately known by his fans, uh, going through some pretty, uh, uh, what is the word, contentious divorce proceedings. It dragged on for a number of years, and it was really a burden on the guy, something that would, tax taxing on anyone, of course, emotionally and spiritually. And great, I guess, provided a lot of great songwriting fodder, of course, as you can imagine. That's where a lot of the best music comes from. The deep recesses of our spirits and our souls, where where we suffer, really, is the pain and anguish. Even though I know you just mentioned a few minutes ago you weren't really all that much into the whole spiritual thing per se, and that'd be something that'd be
what
interesting to get into and talk about. Is his mother was a
it's not
drug.
that I'm not into it. It's just like with the music,
Right.
when everybody does the music in the spiritual kind of way, they always kind of make it all like churchy. You know what I
Well,
mean?
have I told you lately
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah,
that have that song? Have I told you lately that I love
yeah,
you?
that's a good one.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was covered by Rod Stewart and a number of
Hmm.
others. We were just kind of doing a little fact checking once again just the other day. So it's a classic. It's a great song that, there's a good chance I could find myself practicing after we wrap the show up, actually. Um, there's a whole number of his songs that I've got in my repertoire, my busking repertoire. Gloria, Brown Eyed Girl, Enlightenment. There's one you might have an issue with, but if you listen, it's kind of up tempo. It's not too churchy. It, and has a lot to offer as well, I would argue, as far as music goes. I mean, why shouldn't music lift you up? Isn't that one of the points? Is it that's what when people are down and in the dumps and depressed, do you just want to get even more blue and feeling broken, or do you want something that's going to raise you up?
I kind of like both.
Oh, you
I
want
like, I mean, he's playing R&B, rhythm and blues, the
well,
original
yeah,
R&B. You
jazz.
know what
That's
I
right.
mean? So,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, so I mean, it's like freaking. You got to have a little bit of that going on.
Well, it's soul.
That's what blues is all about.
That's right. That's
So
right. Yeah,
I
and
I was amazed by the amount of awards this guy has gotten too. Though, like
uh,
he was actually crowned or knighted.
yeah, yeah, that's right.
He was knighted for his music and stuff by
I
the
wonder.
royal
Yeah,
family.
I wonder if they live to regret that, given his anti-scamdemic stance. He was one of the
Mhm.
few celebrities, as it were, entertainers, and I've talked about this in the show in the past, who they have it within their power to speak out. That's their whole gift, is to speak
Mhm.
out. And you think these people are a little smarter than what they seem to be, but maybe not. You know, Van is one of the few, not only that's intelligent enough, but also has the integrity, the moral fiber and backbone to rebel. And that's one of the projects that he embarked on with Eric Clapton after Eric got really sick after two experimental kill shots that were rushed, as we all know now. They're heavily pushed to just everyone was driven by fear and panic. You know, hashtag trust the
Mhm.
science, trust the fake science, trust the half baked pseudoscience, and he took a lot of heat for that. But you check out the songs that he put together. Rebels is a great one, and money from America. He calls out Klaus Schwab. Calls out. He was Prince Charles at the time. Bill Gates, Boris Johnson. He calls them all out. If you listen to that song, it doesn't take much to. There's no having to read between any lines. It's pretty much there, right there in your face. But and a lot of what he does when it comes to that whole approach and style of what he writes, he has talked about, in his mind at least, falling into the category of satire. It's satire. I love the way when if you listen to his interviews, how he you know uh, responds and to the questions that reporters or people that interview him what they have to ask. I can't do that heavy Belfast accent, but it's just satire. Heavy. It's what I'm doing. I'm a white guy living in a black. I'm a black man living in a white man's body. He's time and again. And speaking of the whole spiritual thing, agape. Now his mother
Oh
was
yeah.
Jehovah's Witness. His father was atheist, I guess. And Van just went
Mhm.
his own way. His dad had this huge. I think he owned a record shop, actually, a music like place where they had all the latest imports from the West. So he was able to stay abreast and big early day influences, including Lead Belly
Mhm.
and Lead Belly credited with songs like Midnight Special and Irene Goodnight or Goodnight Irene.
And Good night, Irene. That was a good one.
Yeah, yeah, it sure is. It's classic. I love Irene. Lord knows I do. Love her to the seas run dry. She ever turns her back on me, I'll jump in the river and no, I'll take morphine and die. So yeah, Irene, good night. And I was wondering if that's where that when like in hockey fights sometimes or boxing things like that where someone gets punched out and it's Good night, Irene. You know, you ever hear sports announcers? I haven't, not lately. I haven't heard too many, maybe because I just don't listen that
Yeah,
much.
yeah, it makes sense because they still do that now too with Burns, George Burns and his wife. What's her name?
Gracie?
Gracie. Yeah, good night, Gracie. That term right there is from him, George Burns. Every time you hear people say that, it's turned into a real popular. Uh, I hear it every once in a while with
Really?
that too. So yeah, I'd almost bet "Good Night, Irene" is definitely the same thing. They've done it.
Yeah, Burn. Well, we're talking old time radio now. Although they
Hmm.
had their own TV series too, the George and Gracie Burns. I'm pretty sure like Lead Belly came first with Goodnight Irene, and then maybe George kind of just, poetic license. That's what it's all about, right? You just
Yeah,
play with the language. That's what we do here so often.
yeah.
Steady as she goes. So anything that
Let
just
me
kind
see.
of go ahead.
I'll pull up the dates and everything on when Lead Belly came out with it. He came out with it in 1933,
What do you
and
what?
yeah,
1933.
1933,
What are you
which is
talking?
recorded. Lead Belly's "Goodnight Irene" uh,
Really?
can refer to Lead Belly's popular folk song, which was recorded in 1933 and is a lament about a woman named Irene by or Luis Alberto Arias historical. Yeah, whatever. We're talking about Lead Belly. I hate this new AI crap they put on Google search engine. But yeah, it's 1933. So it probably is exactly where they got that from. I'd almost bet.
I've heard the 1944 rendition of Lead Belly's Irene Goodnight. Um, and Brian Wilson did a great version of it on the Folkways tribute to Lead Belly and Woody Guthrie, um, recently deceased. Brian Wilson, a formerly head chief songwriter, of the Beach Boys, obviously. So,
Hmm.
yeah, really great version if for people that are, keen on this sort of music. It really it did it for me for sure. That was a great uh that was just a great release, a product, project essentially, that where they had all these collaborators. uh Taj Mahal was on there, Springsteen, Dylan singing. I think Dylan did Pretty Boy Floyd. And what did Bruce do? He did like Vigilante Man, and John Cougar was on there with Do Re Mi. Although the way I do Do Re Mi, I actually uh, heard the Annie DeFranco version years ago, and but just played in the minor key basically. So I don't know. You're Do you know about the minor sound versus the major chords?
Yeah.
So it's kind of, go
G
ahead.
minor, G major. G
Right.
I think the last time I played around with all that was whenever a guy I was working with wanted to try to teach me how to do G major 7.
Right.
And I was like on a guitar, and I was like, "No, dude, that stuff's too fast for me." Because I it started hurting my fingers and
Right,
stuff.
right. But anyway, the point is, it's a more spooky, like cow. You've heard of cowboy chords?
Uh, 3 chords, right?
Yeah. Well,
Two,
three chords in the
or
truth.
2.
Three chords in the truth. That's
Yeah.
one of the releases that Van actually had recently. So like, yeah, GCD, EAD. That's what's known as 145. That's sort of
Yep.
CFG. That sort of deal. But the minors lend a more spooky kind of uh maybe sentimental feel and tone to what it is that you're trying to trying to convey. A lot of times, if you
Mhm.
listen and and know what's going on, basically. So that's really all I was kind of trying to say. And that Annie DeFranco with that version she did with the minor approach, it just works so much better within a meta modern context. I would argue. I know I like doing that Do Re Mi, the old Woody Guthrie song, much more. That I don't think I'd ever play it. Just simple, straight up cowboy chords ever. So, but yeah, three chords and the truth. And I'm not sure who. There was somebody who's famously attributed to having said that. Not sure. Bear with us here while we get our bearings straight as well. To people get things worked out. Having to bring, trying to bring, uh, basically a Telegram on board here. So big shout out to Sonia Galactic, long haired stoner dude, my kind of guy. So yeah, that's not Morrison either. That was a meme we just kind of ripped off the interwebs here with one of his quotes, a quote from Van Morrison before going live here today. So kind of final touches on what it was that we thought we could work on bringing to you. So, and we could do some music live off the floor as
Mm.
promised, but that just depends on how the flow of things goes here and if it seems to be
Just to let you know, I kept it off of YouTube, so it's all good on my end. I got everything going on the simulcast for
great.
Rumble, Kick, Twitch,
Mm-hmm.
and like I said, I left it off of YouTube, so
All
because
right,
I figured there'd be
which is
music
on
involved. So
what it was. Good
of
call.
course,
Uh huh. Of
you
course.
know,
What exactly?
oh, of course, it's about Van Morrison.
Oh
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah. There's gonna be some music, definitely. Yeah.
Right. So I got it all set up. It's good to go. A little bit of the beginning is missing, but other than that, we're all set up on my end.
It's good to hear. So we've got a few talking points here as well. And Sonia, if you've got any questions about Van, the man, his music, his career, I didn't realize until just today, and I've been kind of following his career for some time, but he was literally roughed up by the mob back in the late 60s, just in the lead up to the Astral Weeks project, along with the fact that one of his bandmates died under kind of mysterious circumstances. So first he
Mhm.
gets roughed up, then they threaten to kill him, and he stands his ground. He's not going down. He's not. They're not. Because they're trying to intimidate the hell out of the guy, and that's one of the reasons. If you know anything about him, you'll hear him even to this day, like talk about the industry and how how dirty it is. You know, uh,
Yeah.
rotten music in its purest sense being very spiritual, uh, but the industry itself, most definitely not. So, well, I was, and I wanted to get that quote. Maybe you can track it down. Hunter S. Thompson, music industry quote. See if you can.
Hunter S. Thompson.
Hunter S. Thompson, music industry quote, and see what he has to say, because it really was quite
Yeah,
quite
bro.
apropos. But all right, let's see
Okay.
if we can.
popular quote often attributed to Hunter S. Thompson about the music industry is the music business is a cruel and shallow money trench, a long plastic hallway where thieves and pimps run free and good men die like dogs. There's also a negative side.
You get the punchline.
That good? Yeah, yeah. That's why I took a little break and said, and there's also a negative side.
There's also a downside. Yeah, as if
Like,
that wasn't bad enough.
yeah.
It's even worse than what you think. Yeah, so dirty it is. So I don't know. Everyone wants their pound of flesh, I guess, right? As their cut of the action, their piece of the pie. So
Now, it does go on to say, though, that the quote was originally about the television business, specifically in the article from 1985, but then it was later adapted to the music industry. So,
Roger,
where
I'm sorry, you're long-haired stoner dude, my kind of guy. What?
she's into me, she's talking about this sexy thing right here, this Beastmaster.
All we
That's
see
who
is
she's
we
talking
see
about.
nothing except some weird-looking guy with a shaved head, kind of hanging out.
She's like,
Not sure what that's all about.
she likes that. She
She goes
likes
for the.
that Beastmaster.
What is the
She like,
Beastmaster?
that's me, man. I'm the
The
Beastmaster. You
bald-headed,
ever what?
bald-headed Beastmaster.
Have you ever watched the Beastmaster?
It's an old movie, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
He summons the beasts, and they come from all around to do his bidding.
Oh,
That's right.
it's pretty
He can talk. He can talk to the wild beasts of the woods.
formidable.
The hairy.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Ronnie Wood recently collaborating on stage with James Burton, Elvis's old guitar player. James getting on there in years. Like as with Willie Nelson, when they're performing these days, it seems they prefer more to be seated in a chair than stand. So, but yeah, Robert Plant there, Ronnie Wood from the Stones. I think Tom Jones. They're all. I think many of them pretty good friends. Sir Tom Jones, another Welsh, I believe, personality, someone who was knighted by the Queen back in the day. Speaking of Wales, that's where I actually uh, had the chance to catch two of his shows back in the late summer of 1999. Have you not heard the story? How that all played out and actually led to my meeting him personally?
No. I I I think you was going to allude to it a couple of times, but you never really told the story.
Okay, basically, just in a nutshell, and we still got to get back to the young lady. I don't know if she would qualify as his muse or not, but just a kind of girlfriend, significant other that was part of his life for a number of years. That oversaw the website and other, just helping to manage his career in other ways. But and they actually had a child together. Let me finish the story about this, and then we'll get to my meeting him. And if he's ever to hear this, it might maybe piss him off, but it is public record. He hates it when people gossip, and he really get the fact of how he's someone who's a public personality, celebrity, just reluctant, very reluctant celebrity. If there's one thing that he could change about things, or that he would have not be the case if he could, it's not to be famous, just to be able to play his music and not to attract so much attention, I guess. But uh, they, the young boy, George Ivan Morrison III, she announced his birth on the website. And this may have been during his divorce proceedings. And that, if so, if that was the case, the timing couldn't have been any worse, any more, you know,
Hmm.
just not really well thought through the implications, obviously. So, and then the young child died from some medical condition, and then within just a few short years, the mother had as well, and she really wasn't that old. I think she came down with some sort of like rare cancer, something along those lines. So it's got to be pretty heartbreaking, though, you know, and how it is that we deal with loss as a songwriter. I guess you write about it, you process it in that way, clearly. So that's about as much as I can say regarding that whole matter. People, if they're interested, can look into it more on their own. But yeah, going back to this business of meeting him in Wales, Ross on Wye, it's a jazz festival, I think, that uh, takes place on an annual basis. There were two shows that he basically put together, and I'm not sure if they were back to back or what exactly. It seemed there wasn't much of a break between the two of them, so we had tickets for both. The girlfriend that went, you know, that managed to. We went there together, obviously, and had a chance to check out both the shows. We got pretty good seats, and just happened to get in the inside track on where it was that he and the band were staying that night. A hotel called The Chase. People can look it up if they don't believe me at Ross on Wye, The Chase. Pretty ritzy place. Uh, I was standing at the front desk getting his lead guitar player Johnny Scott's autograph. It was having and he was talking to me about something about green onions, like Booker T and the MGs. Do you know that song? Do you know that it's like actually it's an instrumental kind of
Green eggs and ham.
no, it's just green onions. Not much to do with
No.
Dr. Seuss per se, but
I mean, that's
Oh
about as
yeah,
close as
Green Onions. That's a great guitar tune. I love it.
who the
Yeah.
hell do we have there now?
Yeah, you got Mark over here
Mark.
from J.S.
That's good.
Productions.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Green Onions. That's like one of my favorite electric guitar tunes
can you do an
to listen
acapella?
to.
You play?
Yeah,
You play a guitar, don't you? And a little bit of
a
miscellaneous
little
other
bit.
music.
I play a little bit of bass.
Oh, good stuff.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
I can't even do Green Eyes like acapella. If it
yeah.
was.
My favorite bass player is Mike Watt.
Who
I don't
the
know if you
who
know
the
who
heck?
Mike Watt is or not, but Mike does a lot of studio stuff anymore. But he used to be with a band called the Minutemen.
Oh yeah,
I,
rings a bell. The Minutemen. Yeah,
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 well, it's like you were talking about Van Morrison. Now you know that he came out of the band Them, right?
sure. Yeah, Gloria
Now
and Here Comes the
Eric
Night. Baby,
Eric
please don't
Rickson,
go.
Eric Rickson,
Was he in them?
yeah, and he was eventually up in Thin Lizzy too.
Do you know that Van was blacklisted or blackballed, I guess you could say, by his them bandmates? Why that was, I have no idea. You can maybe check that out using Chat GPT or whatever glorified version of Wikipedia. Is how it strikes me in the Chat GPT business, but it is helpful for kind of getting the ball rolling and as far as uh, you know inquiry into wider context of things. Not that any chat GPT. There should be a disclaimer. I don't know why there's not more made as far as this AI chat GPT disclaimer
Yeah.
business. Like, it should not be taken as the final, the end all and be all. It's like the powers that be. The reason there's no disclaimer, it's like the powers that be. Maybe that's how they want it. It's like trust the fake science, right? It's part of the agenda as well, along with just blindly going along with everything ChatGPT spits out at us. So, but them, yeah, why he was black, blackballed, or he just kind of there was a falling out with the bandmates. I don't know. And
Yeah.
that Thin Lizzy, I didn't know. So you do know a few things about the career more from
Just
that
just a
angle.
just a couple things.
That's
I
cool.
don't
Cool.
I don't really want to like publicly admit that freaking I'm into like older rock bands like that. But
Why the hell not? You mean classic?
well, like Buddy was cool. You know what I'm saying?
Buddy Guy?
Yeah, Buddy Guy was cool.
What about
But
Buddy
like
Holly?
when he kind of slept with his cousin, you know what I'm saying? He actually married her, didn't he?
Oh no, you're getting confused now with Jerry Lee Lewis.
Jerry Lee Lewis, yeah. Okay, yeah. Buddy Holly was cool. He burned pianos, right?
He crashed and burned. No, you're still thinking
Yeah.
Jerry Lee Lewis.
Oh, okay, whatever. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, do it.
Um,
Peggy Sue, pretty, 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 pretty Peggy Sue, my Peggy Sue. Come on, you don't know that one?
yeah, I know that one. Who doesn't? You know?
Well,
I mean,
Buddy Holly. You
my,
remember the big plane crash, the day the music died, the big bopper, Richie
yep,
Valens,
yep.
Buddy Holly. Wasn't there a
All
fourth?
of them. Richie Valens. Everybody always talks about Buddy Holly could have been the next Elvis Presley, but I think if Richie Valens wasn't Mexican, he would have freaking been the next Elvis Presley.
Yeah, or that
Be,
they had that plane crash.
yeah. He was really, really talented. I
Yeah.
mean, that dude had a lot of talent.
Sure did, as did Buddy. Remember what with that quote? Let's hear that one more time. The quote from Hunter S. Thompson, if you have it handy there. Maybe Mark and his audience members missed out on it the first time around, so it warrants a
Pull it up.
revisitation.
Yeah.
The
I gotta
music
go.
industry.
Uh,
How are you doing, by the way, Mark? What do you know about? We'll kind of put the brakes on that for a moment or two while you fish around for it, Roger. Mark, what do you know exactly of Van Morrison? Anything in particular? What's your impression of the man, and how much? Oh, geez, did he drop out already? Oh, there he is. Yeah,
No,
and
I'm still
his
here.
career.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Uh, eh, he never really picked up on my radar for someone to follow. I'm like, it really wasn't my gig.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
No, I get it. I totally get it. That's right.
I'm an '80s kid, and the punk rock scene, new wave, and that was big with me. And then my mother's music was really big with me because I really like John K. Steppenwolf and you know uh, Tommy James, and Shondells, in that era,
Oh
and
God.
all the great guitar bands back in the day. When most of them would be labeled like surf guitar, but the Ventures are
Mm-hmm.
like one of my favorite guitar bands,
Right.
and
I love Gidget.
and who doesn't like Carlos Santana? Come on.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Carlos, man, he's the man.
Well, yeah, as far as music and instrumentals are concerned, but um, songwriting, see, that's where compared to Van Morrison, uh, I don't know what kind of a lyricist is Santana. Is he a great known as a lyricist in any respect?
Just ask all the ladies, man. They love him.
Yeah.
Santana. You
You
know what I
know,
mean? It's like,
Well, a lot of Carlos's songs were done by Robin Trower, sang by him. I don't know how many songs Carlos actually sang himself.
right,
You
right.
know,
Yeah, he was just like it was the
yeah,
name. He was the
he was the
guy,
main guitar.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
just like kind of like Van Halen. You got
yeah,
Eddie. Okay, it's Eddie's band, but sure, we got a lead singer here that can do vocals and probably wrote them. All the lyrics.
yeah.
But
Van Halen is definitely much more kind of a catchier band name than Lee Roth.
yeah.
It just has that kind of that
But
era
you always
feel.
had great stuff that came out of Sammy. Sammy made great music before he was even with Van Halen.
Well, Sammy
I
Hagar.
think. Yeah, Sammy Hagar.
Mm-hmm. I
So
Can't Drive 55. That was his
yeah.
big MTV hit. That was really
Because
great,
video
catchy.
killed the radio star, don't you know?
That was the first
oh
ever
yeah,
song that MTV showcased.
no,
I guess, right? That's how
Yeah,
no,
they
I
put it
and
want,
on.
and,
I
and
want
to
my
this day it
MTV.
did.
What's that, Mark?
And to this day, I really feel it did.
Video killed the radio star.
Yep.
Well, it's changed. The industry's changed so much, hasn't it? And even just
Yeah.
with
I mean, come on now. Now video.
oh,
You know,
well, AI.
yeah.
AI is really,
AI
really,
AI is killing everything.
yeah.
AI can write Hollywood scripts. Why do we need writers?
Right. Well, and
You
there already
know?
was that one big strike. You can bet, like,
Yeah. Well,
it's not going to be the only one.
and with the
Seen.
way the graphics and all that go, fire all of the old players, and then they've all been scanned by AI and all that. So you know, let the AI play the games out and see how they who wins or loses from there. You know?
Well, it would be interesting as well as if when movies are released that it's known to the public it is an AI production to
Yeah.
one extent or the next, and let the market decide, the people, whether they want to support that or not.
I would
So,
say have two creators, one done by AI, one not. Then let the people decide, but don't tell them which is which, and let
well,
them decide.
uh-huh.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and then after that, then tell them after they come out. You know,
Right.
Called the blind
and
study.
see what they for a study,
Double
and
blind.
see
Double
what
blind.
they a blind study to see what they really like. Unlike the vax.
So there is BBC Radio Ulster marking Van Morrison's 80th birthday with an astral weekend. I guess starting, is it either today or tomorrow? Uh, well, the weekend itself, they're essentially going to be, pure Van Morrison. So similar to the way that I remember. Well, Dylan just had his 80th birthday. It was like 4 years ago, and we did something similar here, as did a lot of other fans of Robert Zimmerman, the man who was born Robert Zimmerman. That's one of the things that I did talk to uh, Van about when we met. I didn't go into the story, did I? I didn't finish it. Oh, here's what happened. Let's get back to that. We're standing at the front, the check-in area of the Chase Hotel in Ross on Wye, after he's finished the two shows that they put on him and the band that day and evening. Back on Top tour, 1999. talking to Johnny Scott. For some reason, Green Onions comes up. We're talking Green Onions and Booker T and the MGs, and he was a really sweet guy. He didn't last too long in Van's band, but I'm not sure even where he is right now. Hopefully, he's got a decent gig out there somewhere. But I turned around after getting his autograph, and he was really gracious and very outgoing, really decent. Turn around, and there, right at that very moment, as I turn around, comes, the one and only, the Belfast Cowboy himself. And we just direct eye to eye, contact being made. And God, he was no more than just, I don't know, maybe 20 feet away at the most from where I was. And as he was entering, this energy field appeared around his head and shoulder area for a few moments, just as I, and it could be partly because it caught me off guard, or I was just so shocked and surprised, but it was like this energy field of light radiated from his head and and upper torso, or shoulder region. It was really, I've never seen any auras before that time, and none since that really to speak of. So that was wild, and it's what the Tibetans refer to as, I would say, it's the meeting of two minds, similar to what we do here in a virtual sense, not in to in a distant virtual sense, with the live streams and audiences as well too. The thought intention experiments that we embark upon here from time to time. But yeah, the meeting of two minds is how the Tibetans refer to it, the teacher and the student. So I just kind of I just looked. I didn't really freeze up, but I was surprised, obviously, and like blown away, sure, and just kind of made my way off to the lounge area where my girlfriend and a few other, as it turns out, the concert goers that night had made themselves comfortable. And it's like, oh my God, he's here, he's here. He just walked in, and that created a bit of a buzz and a stir in the room, the lounge area. And within just a few, it wasn't too long after that, he came in to where everybody was, kind of just kicked back, having a drink, relaxing. And it's like he's just kind of just looking around. I think he might have been carrying like a bag with him, like a handbag kind of deal, a few of his necessities, whatever deem most critical at that moment, slung over his shoulder, what have you. And he was kind of uncomfortable with the silence, that with nobody really speaking or talking or saying anything, and everyone knew who he was, of course. So I just waited for a few moments. Nobody else was saying anything. I just stood up and uh, thanked him for the music and the shows, and really just told him how much it was appreciated. Did a great job, and he liked that. Obviously, he's like, oh yeah, no, not a problem, not a problem. Where are you from? Where are you from? And then I told him British Columbia. He's like, oh, British Columbia. Where, where's that? It's like, oh, Vancouver, where you performed with Dylan and Joni Mitchell last year. It was that tour's had quite has like an epic story behind it as well. But he's like, oh yeah, Vancouver. Okay, yeah, all right. So, and I also talked to him about having written a song where uh, I I think I said something about being a longtime fan, and even back then, 1999, for crying out loud. So, and that one of the songs that I'd written included a lyric referencing him that Van Morrison was singing while we emptied our wine. Your sweet loving nearly blew my mind. Yeah, it shook me. I hope it's something more than just a one night stand. Things don't work out quite the way that you planned. Don't you hook me? Kind of deal, something like that. I'd be better with the guitar, obviously. But he's like, oh, you're suffering from jet lag. like, like basically, yeah, it sounds like you're suffering from jet lag. So he made this wry kind of sort of snarky comment remark, but it was funny because it was witty, and I just laughed, and I don't know. I think he might have appreciated the fact that I laughed because he's taking the piss a little bit, as the Brits, they say, is taking the piss, right? So that was not a problem at all, and that was essentially the extent of things. And I went, and he looked around at everybody else, and uh, I think I might have just thanked him once again. And he looked around at everybody else. Nobody said a bloody thing. Uh, and he left. And this one guy that was sitting behind us, he looked at me. He's like, "Yeah, hey, you." He's like, "In there," like as if trying to. I don't know, whatever, become Van's newest best friend or something like that, So that was kind of funny too, actually. But that was just what I wanted to do. Just to tell him about, not that he even really cares. I don't think. Maybe he does, but just the impact that he's had on so many people, and he's my top number one most inspiring musician ever. Even like and this once again, I think it has to do with his spiritual power and his philosophy and integrity. Even though he comes across or has a reputation at times of being kind of prickly, as it were, that clearly he's a man of pretty, you know, his intelligence and integrity, his character, a man of principle, even to the point where it's gonna, you can say stubbornness, I suppose, too. Have the Did you hear the story, Mark, earlier about the mobsters kind of roughing him up? Kind of not sure how badly they kicked the crap out of him. Oh shit! Did we just lose our? I think we just lost our team, so we'll have to call these guys back up again. But yeah, just as a recap reminder that in case you've just joined us recently, this is episode number 354, our tribute to the one and only Sir Ivan George Morrison, someone whose musical career has really, I mean, it's spanned nearly 6 decades now, hasn't it? So, and the number, I think he's released 45. There's official releases, basically, is what we're looking at. 45 official releases, albums, essentially. So we got Roger back there. It's great. We got to call everybody back up again. This is not an automatic thing. I don't know where we got cut off. Mm-hmm.
I had to step away for a second, came back, and everything was off. The thing, I apologize about that. Didn't mean to do that.
Oh yeah, don't worry. So I'm looking for I wonder where Sonia is. Oh, there she is. I wonder if she can make it now. No idea. So
here we go.
Well, Here
we go. Now, yeah, I did kind of catch the end of that mobster thing that you were talking about right when we get cut off.
Oh, well, yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of when I came into the show. You just finished talking about that, and then I came in. Everybody out there listening on my side, just kind of caught what I caught. They didn't hear the beginning of that. So
Well,
if you want to take and go ahead and redo
Yeah,
that part for
actually a good
the
story.
audiences on my side, I got about 15, 20 people
that's
all
great.
over.
Good
Yeah.
stuff. So what happened was this is during the Bang Records days, and you think that you'd get, that would be enough of a hint or indication who's running the show with the record label running under the name Bang with a gun as its icon and so forth. Bert Burns, I think, was his name. This is during the Brown Eyed Girl period, and in the lead up to Astro Weeks, actually. So Bert Burns dies at a pretty young age. I'm not sure why that was. It could have been natural causes, cancer, heart attack, if as memory serves. People can fact check that if they're so inclined. But Morris Levy, I wouldn't be surprised if there was, see, because once Bert Burns lost control of the label, then God only knows where it all, things might have really spun out of control. And these mobsters, yeah, they basically they wanted their pound of flesh, I guess, as one way of putting it. Their cut of the action, their piece of the pie, which they did nothing to earn or deserve, other than the fact that if you don't do what they tell you, they're you know you're gonna suffer. So they beat him up, slapped him around, kicked him around, punched him around. I'm not sure how badly he got, took what kind of a beating exactly, to what extent. It kind of shook him up a little bit, obviously. And then to the point even later where when he still wouldn't back down, they threatened to kill him, because they wanted their cut of the action. And with success of Brown Eyed Girl and his career where it seemed to be headed, essentially his gift, his ability as a songwriter, and uh, one of his bandmates during this period as well died under real mysterious circumstances. I think he was murdered. I'd have to, and I haven't managed to connect the dots because it was only just today, in fact, I realized, according to these reports, that there was this mafia angle to his, early career. And it's little wonder he, has maintained such a jaded eye when it comes to the music industry. Pretty cynical, and he has a right to be. Uh, as with a lot of musicians and artists who have been, we've heard it time and again, haven't we? Screwed out or squeezed out of their what would should have otherwise rightfully been theirs. But I'm not sure if I helped to clarify things or not. But we shared the link in the restream, so it's out there on. This is something we're not. Okay, we're not live streaming on. Well, maybe we are on. I hope we're on D Live. I think we are. I think yeah, we're on D Live. Yeah, sure. Thank you, Sonia Galactic. Much appreciated. So keep your
You are
thoughts.
on D Live
Yeah.
through me.
That yes, sure, good stuff. Okay, so and we have shared the link, so it's out there. What else? What else would you? Now we've got a few songs here.
There was something else that I caught
Uh,
checking out some of his information too.
yeah, go ahead.
Um, a lot of the performances he did when he first started out was ad lib. Like he would literally make up songs while he was on stage.
Sounds like Charles Manson.
That's insane. That
That's
that
pretty
like
ballsy.
even as a writer, that's insane because
I
that's like freehand, free form.
free hand, free form, free styling. That's right. Yeah, I've a lot of people they can do that, but it takes a real talent to. I mean, can you remember what you've just done or not?
Mm-hmm.
So, I know it with the amount of weed that I've smoked in the past, and
he thought of Gloria out off the top of his head while he was performing on stage.
really,
Yeah,
didn't know that.
it evolved as he kept doing it, but originally that's how he did it. He started just playing it on stage, and it just evolved, according to what I'm reading here.
Sounds like American Woman.
Mm.
You know the Guess Who's American Woman?
That was American Woman was the American Woman was the one that was supposed to be against freaking California Girls, wasn't it? It was supposed to be like the Beatles, wasn't it?
No, that was the Guess Who.
Guess Who? Yeah. Okay.
That's right.
American Woman.
Because these eyes cry every night for you.
And it's interesting, speaking of Gloria, that Jim Morrison and the Doors, there was the famous meeting, the two Morrisons down in Los Angeles. Now, this is the Whiskey A Go-Go. He sings about this. Some of his more recent releases, the works, the projects that he's embarked upon are excellent. And they really, because he's at the point in his career now where just practice makes perfect. You really start to master your craft, and jazz, folk, blues, rock, funk, and everything in between. I was thinking about this. Not much reggae or heavy metal to speak of, with as far as Van is concerned, and a lot of just basic chord structures as well. Not although it can get a little sophisticated and fancy from time to time. But Gloria itself, with Van Morrison and Jim of the Doors meeting, drinking the whiskey, so he sings about, in going up, county down. Yeah, going up, county down, going down, county. Yeah, I'd have to have it on here. Actually, I'm not sure if I could get away with norebang. Norebang? Oh, karaoke. I'm saying the Korean word is norebang, singing room. The Japanese, of course, karaoke. You know what that term means, literally? Karaoke? It means, do you know what it means?
No.
It means tone deaf.
Whenever you say stuff in that kind of accent, I know it's going to end up being weird.
Karaoke.
Every time you do that, I was like, yeah, this is going to get weird.
You know, the one that's really weird is the Chinese term for diapers.
Oh, God.
Yeah, sakapui.
See, that's just wrong, dude.
Sakapui.
Oh, boy.
Sakapui.
Yeah.
So, but Jim, and so the Doors, they covered Gloria, and it's through that meeting, I guess, and because there was a big song at the time, and it's classic garage rock, right? I mean, what young garage rock band hasn't played that, just to jam out and practice with? So, yeah, good stuff. For sure. So, and the meeting between the two, like this, you got to imagine meeting of two minds once again. Down in Whiskey A Go-Go, I guess is where they're.
Whiskey A Go-Go.
Oh,
I was just thinking about that earlier.
We finally have Sonia there. Good.
Howdy.
Hey.
How's it going?
Tell you about my baby. I never. She comes around. Should turn his mic up.
Yeah.
What
happened to the guitar?
Four, yeah. You can't hear it?
There you go. Yeah.
Hit to the ground. Oh, that says music. Music is detected, but may not be transmitted. Yeah. Enable high fidelity mode. Oh. Okay. We're doing high fidelity mode. Oh, high fidelity mode. There you go. Check this out. This is high fidelity mode.
There you go.
It tell you about my baby. She comes
They
around,
don't say nothing.
5'4", yeah. Or head to the ground. We need tambourine. She comes
Right.
around, yeah. Just about midnight. Feels so good, Lord. She makes you feel alright. Name is Glora, Gloria, Gloria. I wanna shout it all night, yeah. Wanna shout it every day, yeah, 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 yeah. Three
That
chords in
doesn't sound anything like you two.
Because
they did a song called Gloria too.
Yeah, but theirs is a different. Isn't theirs a different Gloria? Actually, they did. They did
it
one.
is.
But hang on, they did Gloria.
Gloria.
Okay, but there's.
Been gone again, Gloria.
Okay, all right, but you know what? They actually did. There's a bootleg Gloria with U2 and Van Morrison. That's was recorded at one time or another. People can find if they're so inclined. Something else: Sinead O'Connor, Shane MacGowan, Van Morrison. Who wouldn't love walking into an Irish pub and just kind of meeting them, like sitting there, drinking?
I was going to say, didn't the Kinks do a version of it too?
Gloria?
And it was really good. Yeah, I think the Kinks did a version of Gloria.
It's ChatGPT, man. They'll get you going. It's been covered so many.
I think I have the Kinks version of it.
All right. Well, I don't know if you can get away with playing it or not, but anyways.
Probably not.
Okay.
But I've already got nailed already tonight for playing.
Wild Night. There's another one. I'm not a big fan of John Cougar's cover of Wild Night, actually. I like a lot of John Cougar, but his cover of Wild Night, don't let him know that I said that, of course. Mr. Mellencamp, but it is what it is.
He's better
the Fisherman.
Bruce Springsteen.
Who does Fisherman's Blues? The Water Boys. Van is on the record as having. He was asked, "What are your thoughts?" I think it's off the Moondance album. Sweet Thing. It might not be Moondance, but people, they can look into it if they want. The nitty gritty particulars. Has everyone heard Sweet Thing? It's a cool song, and the Waterboys do a great version of it, I would argue, but Van doesn't like it. Apparently, he was asked his thoughts regarding their rendition. He was not impressed. So there you go.
Now, I don't know about that, but I have heard Southern Culture on the Skids do the nitty gritty. Right down with the real nitty gritty. They do a real good version of that. Yeah.
I don't. What are you talking? Nitty Gritty Dirt Band?
No, Southern Culture on the Skids.
Southern Culture on their skid marks? What are you talking about?
No, it's just called Southern Culture on the Skids.
Okay.
It's a really, really good band. Look up Camel Walk.
Okay.
Sometime you'll like it. It's a fun song.
It says here that Morrison felt the band's recorded material did not capture the energy of their live performances. He later stated that the band's artistic vision had gotten twisted by commercial pressure.
The Waterboys?
No,
wow.
This would be them.
Oh, them.
That's why he split up with them. He said that he felt that it killed them.
Wow.
Which he felt killed them.
Better that it killed them than him.
Yeah.
Like the mob tried to do back in the late 60s, I guess, how the story goes. They threatened to kill him. And that's, it's like, give us your money or we're going to kill you.
Mhm. It just
Wow.
drove me nuts when you said that, because it's like they don't mention anything specific why he left them. It just there's no mention of it whatsoever.
Hmm. That's a good point. Yeah, I have no idea why they split. So they were together for what, 3 years?
And there were multiple different band members in it, but uh, Morris and what was his name? Henderson, I think his name is, were the only two that were consecutive that actually stayed through the whole band.
Mm-hmm.
Dick Rowe ended up taking them on, signed them first. Dick Rowe and Decca Records.
Oh yeah. Hey, big
And
shout out to Christian Laterre, by the way, before we forget about him. Thanks, Christian, for taking the
yeah,
time to drop by. Don't know how much of a Van Morrison fan you are necessarily, but Dick Rowe of Decca Records isn't that the same Dick Rowe who turned down the Beatles?
probably.
I think
He was
that seems to ring a bell.
head of A&R.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He turned. That's the guy. I'm pretty sure that's the. Whoopsie. Turned down the Beatles. By the way, I just heard something the other day. Little Richard, Brian
Mhm.
Epstein offered, like, this is during the early days of the Beatles and their career, obviously, when Little Richard was, he was the headliner. They were support act touring with him and across the UK. Brian Epstein offered Little Richard half of the Beatles' earnings if I don't know, in return for what exactly, I don't know, but there was a point in time Little Richard claimed in an interview. Maybe his
Mhm.
story he repeated various other points along the way. But that was the case. I actually recently downloaded a couple of Little Richard's uh, documentaries. I would encourage any rock and roll fans, classic, good old rock and roll fans, to definitely take a look at doing that very thing. It's a lot of people talk about how Little Richard. I mean, did he or did he not get the credit that he deserved? Lucille was covered. Speaking of Little Richard, bring it back to Van Morrison.
Mhm.
Lucille, Lucille, won't you do your mama's will, Lucille. That's a great tune. I gotta learn to cover that one, man, for sure. Lucy
I
was on the
know,
side.
like Dick Rowe. They used to call him the man with the golden ear.
Yeah, well, check it.
And,
Type in Dick
and
Rowe Beatles and see what comes up. I
well,
got a funny feeling.
he also signed on, if you remember correctly, he signed the Rolling Stones too.
Okay. Well, he got
So
it
I mean,
right there, I guess, then, didn't he? Yeah.
not a lot of people. I don't know why they do, especially the older people. They have a problem with the Rolling Stones, like they were something bad or something. But I mean, I love them. It goes back to Buddy Guy, dude. I mean,
What? Buddy Guy.
Buddy Guy and the Rolling Stones, man, they all come from the same crowd.
Did you ever see that Buddy Guy, that Shine a Light uh, feature put together by, I think it was Martin Scorsese? It was New York's, it could have been, I think it was the Beacon Theater, as a matter of fact. And the Champagne and Reefer, which
I
they
know, I know.
almost messed up at one point. Just a slight, they're so good, obviously. They're so tight, and they know how to work their craft. But they
That would
almost
have been
lost a little
cool.
bit. It's
I,
check it out. Yeah,
I'm gonna
Champagne
listen to
Reefer.
it whenever. Yeah, that's got to be cool.
Oh, totally. It's an old Muddy Waters song.
Yeah.
Muddy
You
Waters.
you Have you ever heard the story about how the Rolling Stones met freaking Buddy Guy though?
No, let's hear it.
He got the nickname Buddy Motherfucking Guy.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
And the reason why he got that name was because Mick Jagger and the Rolling Stones came into the studio and and they freaking were looking for somebody to talk to, and all they could hear was this dude back in the back freaking just jamming out on his guitar, and freaking Mick Jagger looks over at somebody and he goes, "Who is that?" And he says, "That's a Buddy Motherfucking Guy." And from that day on, he was branded Buddy Motherfucking Guy.
Wasn't his name Buddy Guy to begin with?
Yeah. Yeah,
I
but
thought,
you know what I'm saying? He said, "Buddy
yeah.
Motherfucking
That's right. And
Guy."
you'll hear it if that Beacon recording with Champagne and Reefer. Yeah, so there we have some context to things. There's a shot
That's
of
how.
Dylan and Van. Uh,
Hmm.
there's a. I thought you were gonna say something about you walked in the studio and there, this guy. They heard this guy wailing away on his guitar. They walked into where he was, and he was so talented that while he was making all these great sounds on his instrument, he was you know giving it to just laying some pipe to this old lady that
Yeah.
walked in from off the street. This mother with
I I mean that would have been
the mother. That's where you
interesting.
get the mother effing end of things, right? So it's got to be that.
But
It
better
has to
be
be that
careful.
angle. Come on, huh?
Sonya's here. We gotta behave.
No, man. It's
Oh,
like
no,
the
you don't
mother
have to
effing
behave for me, Roger. Come on now. You know better than that.
mother
Uh,
effing.
uh,
So Dylan and Van Morrison in Greece. Well, they toured together once again, as we talked about earlier. But there was, gosh, what was the song that he played? Oh man. Anyways, you can see the footage. John Lee Hooker. There's some great kind of rare, just acoustic, unplugged footage of him and John Lee Hooker hanging out. Looks like someplace Louisiana bayou or something like that, kind of playing and reminiscing about the old days in little clubs in New York, I guess back in the early, early to mid '60s, and how that all sort of unfolded. So, but the Parthenon, that's what it was. Dylan and Van, you can see them. It's a famous. Uh, I'm not sure what kind of a film project it was, but yeah, they're sitting just looking out down upon. I think it's is it down upon, or is the Parthenon, is it above where they're low, situated? I have no idea. So, but it's cool what the music that they're doing. I think Crazy Love. You guys, some of you have heard Crazy Love. She gives me love, 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 crazy love, love,
Turn
love,
on your love
love,
light.
crazy love. You never heard that one? Anyways, it's a pretty cool tune. Tupelo Honey, that's another great. Uh, I mean, let's just go through his discography for crying out loud here before we wrap. Oh, here we go. Brown Eyed Girl, Moondance, Into the Mystic. That's one of Robert Morningstar's favorite. He told us. Tupelo Honey, Crazy Love, right there. Gloria, Days Like This. My mama told me there'd be days like this. Caravan, that's off of the Moondance. These two, Jackie Wilson. Have I told you lately? Yeah, so this is all chat GPT stuff. That's a few of, but the better known tunes. But there's just so many. There's just really too many to mention. And as I kind of touched upon earlier, I was really surprised, but really impressed and pleased um, that with his more recent projects that he's embarked upon, they've been pretty damn good. They've been really solid. there's some work that he's done in the past where it's like, you know, not exactly necessarily hitting it out of the park, but
Hey,
he just,
Jeffy, how many platinum ones did he have?
oh, I have no idea. But there's 40, he's had 40 single releases that in the UK at least have ranked in the top 40, which, you know, they're not maybe number one, but I mean, who the hell wouldn't, if I could just have one song that I'd written, make it to the top 40 somewhere, that would be, I mean, that would be quite an achievement. So, but all over Switzerland, he's got a huge following, and other parts of Europe, maybe, not sure what other, France, for sure. Yeah, France, Switzerland. So, I don't know. It's a good question, really. You know, but tell you what, what we're gonna do right now? We're gonna play a song that we recorded. Actually, it's a video, and we ripped it off of Vimeo. Tell me, Ma, the work that he did with the Chieftains back in the day, and I think most of those guys are probably dead at this stage. The Chieftains. But one of the classics.
That was a great band, the Irish Chieftains. Yep.
Yeah, you like those guys? That's good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Didn't what was the guy from the Who?
Daltrey,
Roger
Townsend.
Daltrey.
Yeah.
Roger Daltrey did some stuff with the Chieftains.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. Yes, he did.
All
and I saw a concert on TV one time, a long time ago, and it was really good. I'm like, wow, Roger just fits right in with these guys. And they were like, I mean, he wasn't no spring chicken at the time, but Roger was like right in there with them. He knew, he kept right in there with all the traditional instruments as well.
Roger Daltrey. Well, what was Roger playing? Because Roger largely
He
is a
sang.
vocalist. Yeah.
He sang, and he played some sort of percussion, odd percussion instrument.
Drum.
It's kind of like a tambourine type thing.
Like a hand drum.
Yeah, it had like it was like a tambourine, and it had this ball that would hit the tambourine when you shook it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
I kind of do. It's a traditional Irish
I don't know
instrument.
what they call it, but it's a traditional Irish instrument.
Do we have an echo here, or what's going on? I think we have an echo in the house. So accentuate the positive.
That's just horrible.
Yeah. Actually, well, not as bad as you might think. So look, we've got, I'm not sure how much time exactly, but
I've got a little bit more tidbits of information.
You do? Well, hang on. Why don't we just wait until, well, how much time is it going to take up?
Just a little bit of fun facts. That's it. He also was awarded the Hollywood Walk of Fame and got a star, and he was also made awarded an Oscar Wilde by Al Pacino.
Oh, gee. Oh, Pacino. I thought you said De Niro. I was like, oh,
yeah,
God,
Al Pacino.
Please. Yeah. You know
2007.
And he accepted the award, I guess. Probably.
Yeah.
He's got, a lot of, he's got a really, like the people, like Monte Carlo kind of crowd, and people like upwardly mobile, well-to-do. I don't know. I was going to say bourgeois, but it goes beyond that, like almost aristocracy. For whatever reason, they seem drawn to his music. I just, but he's also got broader appeal too to the masses. It's just, music is like comedy, of course, and literature. It's just very subjective, and sometimes Sense and Sensibility, it doesn't necessarily strike a chord or resonate with everyone. We'll get everyone to mute out. Well, this next song up, and I think, by the way, that's in Belfast. So he had a bit of a tiff with his neighbor, I guess, over the width of his driveway or some just silly thing. just some neighbors. I mean, why are they such people are such jerks? I have no idea. So they got nothing better to do but go to war with the people who you're living next to. It's not exactly the best way to build community. So, enlightenment. Yeah, we recorded this, put a video together. This goes years back. It's not in the key that I do it in now. Far from it, but it's kind of cool. We did Wild Night Live in a club. We got that recorded here too. We're not going to share it with you right now, though. People have to drop by our Vimeo off of Jaffe's Man Cave via WPRPN.com if they're so inclined. Take it from there. But yeah, this is just music is spiritual. The music business is not. Van Morrison. Did he say that? Well, it sounds like something that he would. So, and by the way, no, that's not Van Morrison staying there either. Almost kind of looks like George Harrison, Laura Lee Potvin. So, all right, let's see if we can cue this up and listen to our version of what we recorded years ago, Enlightenment.
Chop that wood, carry water. What's the sound? One hand clapping, enlightenment. Don't know what it is. Every second, every minute, it keeps changing, something different. Enlightenment, don't know what it is. Enlightenment, don't know what it is. Say it's non-attachment, yeah. Non-attachment, well, non-attached. I'm in the here and now, meditating. I'm still suffering, but that's my problem. Enlightenment, don't know what it is. Wake up. Enlightenment says the world is nothing but a dream. Everything's an illusion. Nothing is real. Good or bad, baby, you can change it. enlightenment. Don't know what it is. Chop that wood, carry water. What's the sound of one hand clapping? Enlightenment. Don't know what it is. Enlightenment. Don't know what it is. Say it's non-attachment to. Non-attachment to. All around, baby, you can see you're making your own reality every day. Enlightenment, don't know what it is. Enlightenment, don't know what it is. It's always up to you. Enlightenment, don't know what it is. It's always up to you.
All right, there we go. So, our version of enlightenment, and of course, music can be done in so many ways. The original rendition by Van himself, a little more upbeat. Give it a listen, folks. Check it out. It's kind of cool. I'm not sure if he's done slower versions or not, and who knows what he's going to be actually presenting and performing at this big birthday celebration that the city of Belfast, from what I understand, is hosting for him, and promoting, producing. So I hope there's a few surprises along the way. So we'll just have to wait and see. But I'm not sure how much time we got left here, mateys. Just a few more minutes, I guess, presumably. But yeah, there we go. Enlightenment. Don't know what it is. You know what a Zen master will tell you when you ask them what enlightenment is? Exactly that. Typically, something along those lines. Don't know what it is. So, but myself, my take on enlightenment is kind of two things essentially, although ultimately transcending, going even beyond that. But enlightenment, kind of satori, eureka, awakening moment where you have certain insight, deep, profound insight, presumably. And then, secondly, the unencumbering of one's worldly burdens that we carry with us on a day to day basis. The heavy load. It can be a real drag at times for so many of us, including myself. It's just something that we've got to work with, working to transform that energy as how you find it what they talk about in the Tibetan tradition. Working with the energy and transforming in a more positive, productive way. So everybody's gone quiet for some reason. I'm not sure why that is, but feel free to chime in,
I'm still here.
folks. Mm-hmm.
I'm still here, and I wanted to let everyone know my birthday is September 10th. Just saying.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. Just an FYI.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right. My sister's is on the 11th. I knew.
Oh, God.
In 72 from that September 11th, it would be a bad day.
What?
Anyways.
Speaking of,
otherwise I would be an only child. But anyways, yeah, when you played the music earlier, I didn't know that you weren't playing it through Teams. So no one on the platforms that I'm on could hear it.
Oh,
I'm
really?
sorry. Yeah, I didn't know that you weren't going to play it exclusively through any other way.
Oh, it
so,
was
yeah.
it was like
Because I just have you up on Teams, though I do have.
That's weird.
I
know.
have you. I have you streaming from Telegram, but because I'm also on the show with you, I have to mute Telegram always.
Oh, yeah.
To stream.
So they got the visual.
Otherwise, we get.
Presumably, people on your end got the visual, but they didn't get the audio.
Exactly.
Okay. What I'm going to do right now.
Next time we'll know.
No. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go to Vimeo, and I'll just Jaffe's Man Cave. Here's what you do, folks. Here's what you do. Let's walk people through this so they can see how this is done.
If you post a link, I'll post it in my chats for them.
Yeah, we'll do.
Just post it over here and I'll copy paste it for them.
So what we're looking at right now is the main page, WPRPN.com, and then you go to member info. You have all these drop-down menus, Operation Secret Santa, show info, so on and so forth. Jaffe's Man Cave, click on that, and then you'll scroll down here. There's a few other links, of course, but you want to focus really on the Vimeo end of things, and just we're just going to copy it. And there's 33 videos, so people have to. We'll leave it to them if they're really, just to scroll through, unless they want the direct link. But I mean, come on, do a little bit of legwork yourselves, hopefully. So that's too bad they couldn't hear that. It's kind of cool. I'd like. It's in the wrong key though. I think I did it in D, and now these days I've been kind of taking
grab your guitar, man. Go grab your guitar.
Well, it's kind of like in G basically now. It's in G.
Oh, G.
How do you know that? So
G.
Yeah. Chop that wood. Let's see. Chop that wood. Carry water. Whoops. What's the sound of one hand clapping? Enlightenment. Don't know what it is.
There you go. See?
Yeah, but Van Morrison is more, if you listen, he's more like, I don't know how that, he's just a kind of boom, 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 boom. It's kind of, no, that's not even it. There's something more with the backbeat or something. I can play along, just to listen to it, what he's doing and just jam with him. That's not a problem. That's pretty straightforward usually in the basic sense. So, but it's more upbeat for sure. And I don't know, I'm almost tempted to say in the groove. The version that we've got here is more laid back and reflective, pensive and reflective. And you can see the slideshow too. It's kind of, there's an old Dharma friend of mine, my spiritual kind of guru. You can see there right from the start, based out of Vancouver Island. I'm not sure if she's even still alive, actually. Virginia. And guru, no method, no teacher, no guru. I think, isn't that's the title of one of Van's albums, if I'm not mistaken. But anyways, and he's explored every religion in the world. all the way from Scientology to the Eastern religions, Theosophy, and his mother, once again, Jehovah's Witness. So now these days he attends the Agape Church. I think that's where he feels most at home. Sometimes he even gets up on stage and does a few numbers. They invite him on stage, and people, they kind of groove on that, and it's a good spiritually uplifting, as you would think church is supposed to be. I guess if it's a satanic thing, you would want to kind of destroy things, wouldn't you? Or kind of just, want to just more darkness and kind of, who knows what exactly, but as if there wasn't already enough of that in the world to begin with. So, but there we go. I'm not sure if we even finished the point I was setting out to make. So help me out here, co-host. Yeah, kind of wandering away.
You're in trouble. You might be sinking with a ship there, dude.
Yeah.
Don't,
You guys aren't holding up your end of the bargain.
I don't even know how to give you any support, man.
Yeah. So Jaffe meandering, wandering off into the weeds.
Meandering. Yeah.
Right.
That's true. That's a perfect analogy right there.
Yeah. So, but no,
and then suddenly waking up.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, yeah, and that's the satori. That's the enlightenment, the eureka moment. Exactly. So
yeah.
Big time. But just a spark of awakening, and
right.
Yes. Yeah. But okay. So what shows do we have coming up here then? Quickly before team shuts us down.
Christian Latoureur is going to be on the 5th. And after that, I'm not sure. We haven't scheduled yet, so.
We have a number of names floating around, though, don't we?
We do. Yes, we do.
We're trying to have it so it's not exclusively a show all about UFOs, although that is something that, many ourselves and many of our audience members find appealing and worthy of further inquiry. But
we're looking to maybe have.
I was already able to interview him, and I'll let you know you're most likely not going to hear about UFOs.
Who interviewing who? Christian.
The kid, Christian. Yeah,
Christian.
Well,
no. We got that. Yeah.
He'll be talking about Montauk straight up, like, and he didn't mention all this other stuff. Like he was focused right on the Montauk project.
Yeah,
right on his experience.
That's
yes,
right,
for sure.
But what other names have we got there in the queue?
Well, I'm looking at James Gilliland, and then also hopefully Peter Maxwell Slattery, which are they both run the EStudy ranches. One's in Australia, one is in Washington.
Stan Gordon too. So
Stan Gordon, again, yes, him Bigfoot as well.
And UFOs.
Yep. So maybe September or October might be a UFO type of Bigfoot month coming up. So.
Yeah, and October, of course, with Halloween itself actually falls on a Friday.
Mm-hmm.
The 31st. So that'll be perfect. We'd like to have that kind of witchy if we could. Some kind of spooky pagan guest, and even open it up to a debate where you have a very serious fundamentalist Christian, find themselves in the mix and having their thoughts heard, because I mean it's all we gotta hear all sides, really. I mean
that'd be interesting. For sure. Yeah.
You want to sing a song for me?
Who are you talking to?
Absolutely, Roger. I'll sing whatever you want.
No, I want Jeffy to do this one.
Which one's this?
Whew, good.
Sing Kentucky Woman.
Oh, Neil Diamond.
Yeah.
I've had people tell me sometimes like the voice reminds them a little bit of Neil Diamond. Yeah, that's one Neil Diamond song I wouldn't mind learning. Actually, did he actually write it?
I don't know. That really doesn't fit in.
But I'll tell you but I'll tell you how it does. The Last Waltz.
Yeah.
Martin Scorsese. Do you know The Last Waltz?
The last waltz, the one I heard was the one that was back in the '60s, I think it was.
No, we're talking The Last Waltz, 1976.
Yeah,
Martin
it was pretty
Scorsese.
old.
Martin Scorsese once again, and Neil Diamond, and I think it was on that stage where just off in the wings he came up to Dylan. He's like, "I'm gonna blow you off the stage." That's apparently the comment that he's famously said to have issued. Guy's got a huge ego, obviously. It's like, I'm gonna blow you right off the stage. Like,
he has written a lot for people, though. He wrote for Olivia Newton-John. He also wrote a lot of the songs for the Monkees. Oh my God! I'm a Believer. I believe was a Neil Diamond song.
I think you're right.
And what's the other one that Neil Diamond wrote for? I mean, he wrote for a lot of folks besides doing his own songs.
Red, red wine.
Girl, you'll be a woman soon.
Yeah, did he write that? I don't know.
He did. He wrote that. Red Wine, I don't think he did. I thought
he had somebody else sing it.
Hot August night. Brother Lord's travel and salvation show. Pack up the ladies. No, pack up the babies. Grab the old ladies. Everyone goes to Brother Lord's show. Hallelujah.
I always thought Sedaka was a better singer than him. Neil Sedaka.
Did he sing? Sing?
Calendar Girl.
Oh.
Calendar Girl.
Yeah.
Well.
Oh my gosh. You must have heard that song before you went off to Vietnam and shit.
Speaking of mafia times in the music industry, Neil Sedaka. For the
how old is that song?
Those
yeah, you can never forget about Paulie Anka.
But isn't Sedaka Canadian as well? Paul Anka is Canadian, I believe. So, but they're up in their mid to late 80s. So, and that's the thing with the show. Van Morrison, Dylan now 84. We're lucky to have them around. It's amazing that Willie Nelson at his age, 90.
Oh wow, yeah.
92, just barely. He's not getting all that much stronger really as time goes on. So they're having to take special.
It's on that reefer.
Effing entropy.
What? That's making him so slow, or that he's lasted so long.
The reason he's lasted so long.
His brain has denied the fact that he's dead. So,
okay.
Yeah,
I agree, Roger. I totally agree. That and his biofuel. He's probably been drinking too much of his biofuel made of hemp oil and things like that too.
They can't. And the thing is, like with Ozzy and Tom Petty was another one. The minute that they stopped performing, they drop dead. It's like the minute they hang it up, they drop dead. So Petty really should have. There was a hip injury that he was suffering from, a fractured hip, as a matter of fact, and he was soldiering on. But he really should have had that taken care of before the tour. He just made a major miscalculation there. So. And then with Ozzy, well, it was one thing after the next, wasn't it? Like he suffered so much, and it's just like put the guy out of his misery. I mean, come on, that's just what happens, really,
Well, cosmetic surgery doesn't make your body any stronger, huh?
Wow, you're right. He did do Calendar Girl.
With Ozzy covered Calendar Girl.
No, freaking Sedaka. I just checked it.
You haven't heard Black Sabbath's version?
No.
What?
You've never heard it's great.
Neil Sedaka, though, dude.
It's like, it's way better than the
Sedaka.
original.
Roger
No, no.
Sadaka, not Sadaka.
Black Sabbath.
Sadaka. Well,
yeah, it was so much better back when, not when Ozzy did it. Who was the other guy? Dio. Dio was the one that did
Dio.
Calendar Girl,
Right.
Winged Sabbath. Yeah, Dio was the man.
Let's hear you sing it again, Ronnie James Dio style, Calendar Girl. Originally via Neil Sedaka.
I love my Calendar Girl.
You gotta speed it up.
Her name is Sonia. Oh yeah.
Death
Calendar Girl.
Not really. It's more
Okay,
like epic metal.
You know,
Purple.
I cannot see what
Okay.
time we've got left here, gang. So just don't take it personally if you get cut off. Let's hear all your particulars at galacticfire.com for Sonia.
Mhm.
That's
Yep.
right.
That's me.
Roger Hansen is just Roger Hansen. You need your own website, man. Although
do,
I must,
Roger.
but mine's, and that's the thing. Like, why has he launched anything via WPRPN.com? No, you usually could, but we got to talk about that after the show.
I think me and Roger are going to go over there and jump on board at one point here.
The sign up thing's got to get fixed.
I'm an autonomous kind of
we're going to start
it. You know what I'm saying? It's like a lot of people like to jump on the social media networks and stuff, and you barely will ever find me on there. If you do, you'll find me at Minds.
You're on Minds. That's where you got all your links.
You can find me at X too.
Well, you're taking all this time, making all this effort in live streaming, and putting all this energy into all that you do. You would think that you would at least like have a main social media hub. And that's what Minds does kind of offer. But WPRPN.com, it's waiting there for you to do the same thing, and will heavily promote everything you share.
I can do something. I can do something at the website. It's just lately, man, I've been so swamped with back work. Like I've got things scheduled now all the way up until June of next year on Rumble.
Yeah, he's even got a frog to animate for me that I'm still waiting on. About 3 or 4 months now.
Oh God.
Yeah,
well, I've got everything but the left foot finished, and then I got to put the coloring into it, and then the background, of course, which I have a cool room that he can go into, and it's gonna be awesome.
Drigas Productions, Mark, let's hear it.
How can Drigas Productions at gmail.com or website at DrigasProductions.com.
I couldn't find that link. I searched high and low, and I cannot find that website link.
Really?
I'll put it in chat right now.
And you even have the creator of the website here?
I know.
I couldn't find it.
Exactly.
Couldn't find it off of Minds or anything. Maybe
censorship. That's what it is. At Drigas Prod on Minds.
Yeah. I'm gonna set an internet.
It's not
I'm in
on
the
Minds.
graveyard on Minds, but yeah, because it's so dead over there. Sorry, but I like Minds, but it is, yeah, my platform over there feels like one hand, just not in the grave, but coming out of it from time to time. When it first started up, the Ottmans and that came on the show quite regularly.
Oh, really?
And I had lots of folks, but that's another story.
They were our first feature show ever, actually, the Ottmans.
Yeah, so. It was a great show. I actually watched that listened to it, and it freaking woke me up to a lot of cool stuff, man, that I didn't know.
Oh, cool. So,
it's actually Drigas Productions /wixsite.com/radio.
Well,
it's in the chat right now.
I'll try to look for it on Minds again, but I could not find. I even did like a DuckDuckGo search and nothing. I found Drigas your LinkedIn. I followed everything. Whoop, and there we go. So that's how the show is going to end this week, folks. Hope everyone has enjoyed the ride here in celebration of Van Morrison's 80th year. What an amazing life and career. I just cannot think of anyone more esteemed or greater, even surpassing Dylan in some ways. Each with their own flair, style, and character, of course, but you talk about two highly prolific artists. Look no further than, Bob Dylan, Van Morrison. The Skiffle Sessions, that's something we didn't talk about tonight, with Lonnie Donegan. Let's not forget about that. Yeah, that was a great release, a great project. Both he and Donegan worked on. I think it was just a short time, like about a year or so prior to Donegan's passing, unfortunately. So, Rock Island, and Rock Island line is a mighty fine line. Rock Island line is a mighty fine road. Get your money. Rock Island line. Yeah, Johnny Horton, great cover. Johnny Horton recorded originally Leadbelly once again. So talk about the influence and impact people such as Leadbelly or Woody Guthrie had on so many of the pioneers of rock, folk, blues, you name it. Definitely deserve a lot of credit. They too certainly managed to leave their mark. So hopefully we did as well this week with a sufficiently appropriate tribute and celebration, once again in support of Van Morrison, his life, career, and 80th year anniversary. Wonder if I'll make it to be 80. There's not too many people who do, so God bless him, and long may he run. We'll be back, of course, this coming Tuesday night. That's the plan, at least, with World Pirate Radio News. Maybe a few of the regular crew, the gang, these colorful personalities that pop up and help to provide a little extra color commentary. Always appreciated. Sonia Galactic. Mark via Drigas Productions. Roger Hansen. And any number of other motley members of the Robin Hood's crew. That, of course, is 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 11 out in the east of the Americas, 12 noon via Tokyo and Seoul time zone, Wednesday, 12 noon. We're here in the east, living in the future. Pirate One Radio at protonmail.com is our email address. If you'd like to help us out with PayPal support, always appreciated. That's also something, the email address. If you have any show suggestions or guest ideas you'd like to bounce off of us, people you'd like to see booked in the feature show capacity, we're all ears. Be sure as well to take a look at the show description end of things as far as the Patreon is concerned. galacticfire.com. Once again, we've got a lot of great show related swag and booty, aka merchandise, available over there. Half of everything we do manage to generate, as far as public support is concerned, goes directly back to the grassroots. A lot of other social media people, personalities, projects, they just don't seem to stop and think about that. At least we don't hear much about it from them. So why that is, I have no idea. It's a real shame. You would think that there's more that could be done in conjunction with the whole hashtag WWRHD, what would Robin Hood do ethos and philosophy. WPRPN.com, lastly, of course, is our main website. Do drop by there as well and check it out. Thanks, everybody. It's been a blast here. Looking forward to any number of future projects Van Morrison has to offer. Encourage everyone out there listening to take time to learn more about his career and discography, repertoire. It's rich. Trust me. Or then again, don't take my word for it. Investigate and explore things for yourselves. Get back to us. Tell us what you reckon. On behalf of Captain Long John, Sinclair, and all the rest of the crew here down in Skullport Harbor, until we meet again via these high, often all too intrepid digital seas, I'm your host as always, Robin Hood's Chief Communications Officer, Jaffe Ryder, reminding you, keep your ear to the ground and eyes to the sky. Tally-ho!
Aye now, there we be. Having carefully looked over each of our navigation panel instruments, checking every level, switch, dial, cable, knob, and pulley, by all accounts and indications, we indeed see it's time once again to drop anchor inside Mystic Bay, draw an end to yet another week of World Pirate Radio Live. Remember, if you're looking for a little more animated online action, keep in mind we've likely got yet another great free-flowing Rogues Gallery after show coming up for the next hour in one of our more premium, exclusive, and remote digital underground online pirate hideaways. Also, if you yourself have a new, novel, intriguing, or otherwise underreported idea, unique individual, or pressing item in mind, be sure to either drop us a line directly over on WPRPN.com or fire us a quick email via PirateOneRadio@protonmail.com. We're always open to exploring fresh creative suggestions, intriguing guest ideas, cutting-edge discussion topics, and captivating themes. Remember, WPRPN.com member site subdomain links are also always available. Great for artists, musicians, podcasters, bloggers, social media personalities, or pretty much just any old landlubber looking to boost their online visibility, presence, and reach. Basic personal profile accounts can be launched for just $60 per year. Staking your claim now helps not only strengthen you and the network, we're also looking out for the little guy. That's right, folks. As much as half of all WPRPN's profits are redirected right back into the hands of the people who really need it most. Community charity. After all, we are the Robin Hood. You can further embark on your own personal pirate journey by either liking, sharing, commenting on, subscribing to, or just following us via virtually any mainstream social media platform, including Twitter, Facebook, Gab, or Minds.com. So don't forget to become engaged. Until we meet again out on the high digital seas, I'm your host as always,
the ship's chief communications officer, Jaffe Ryder. Tally-ho.